we met at Virginia Tech. We were both undergraduates. He lived with one of my closest friends that I met when I was 4 years old. And I remember the day we met because I was invited to come to see his friend play some of the songs he has written and read some of his poetry. And that is when I met him. He was actually had to perform in front of me. And though you didn't think that that's the exact time we met, but that is when we met.
We met at the kickboxing boxing club, and I was taking my capoeira class, and this girl actually begged me to take his class with him. And so after taking his class one time, I was just totally in love with him. So I switched my whole schedule around so I could take his class, which is hard because I had 3 jobs at the time and I was in school, but I made it happen. And one day, eventually, we would just kind of talk, but it was very friendly. He had given me no signs that he liked me. So I had just planned to take his boxing class for the rest of my life, to be around him. But one day he met me at one of my jobs and we talked, and then he met me over at a hospital I was volunteering at, and we talked till 3 in the morning, and we've been together ever since.
Okay, my best friend was dating his brother and I don't know how she got me to go out that night. I didn't want to. I had been working all day. So I went out to the party and met Josh. And my friend Noelle that was going out with his brother was like, oh, you gotta meet this guy. He's so cute, totally your type. And I was just like, oh, whatever. I was really not into it. So we met each other, and of course, she was right. I was totally infatuated with him. And I made sure that I was standing right by him on the countdown of New Year's. And I gave him a little kiss, and he just kind of took it from there, grabbed the back of my head, just gave me like best Hollywood kiss. That's it.
We met at the dog park. I used to go every day with my dog Jake, and I was in school doing my master's degree, so I had books with me. I'd sit on the picnic table and study. And Rodney walks up, and I was like, oh, and the first thing I thought was my best friend back home, like, oh my God, he's so her type. So I was like, I would text her on my phone and be like, he's here, this guy's so hot. And I would just text her and be like, you gotta see this guy. And she kept saying, send a picture. And like, I can't take a picture of him, he'll see me, you know. But he used to come up and talk to me every day, and what are you studying? And I would be mean to him and like laugh at him and stuff.
Fast forward, what, 3 years? Yeah. 2.5, 3 years? Basically, I was out here, I had moved out here, I hadn't been in touch with her in, since that time.
Since like 2003.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just
struck up a conversation again.
Yeah, we just started talking, couple, 15, 20 minutes every day, and it was
progressively got more and more.
Yeah, I started out as just casual catching up, oh, how have you been? And but yeah, as the summer kind of went on, we continued to talk and we had longer conversations.
I didn't want to be the creepy trainer guy. Typically trainers are, known to be a little going after the girls at the gym, and I wanted to stay very professional and make it feel very unpressured situation.
Yeah, with our sparks and everything, I was just in love with him instantly, but I didn't even think he liked me at all or knew I existed, because I would always try to talk to him and he was just like always real professional and just, oh, thank you, or just that's it, like dry. So I was just like, well, if I can just take his boxing class and see him for the rest of my life, I guess that's all right,
I would stalk her. I would see her there and with her books studying, and every time I tried to talk to her, she was sarcastic and mean, and yeah, she wasn't very friendly. It took a while to get her to open up. It took a long time.
Just right off the bat, we have the same type of philosophy with life, just very easygoing, with the same type of goals, with the same type of family values. We want to have children, we want to be in a committed relationship where we can rely and trust in each other. We've talked, even like with this gym, she's jumped right in as a business partner. And I was just opening the gym when we were first meeting, first started getting together, and she just came right in and started to help me do everything, and that's just what we wanted for each other.
It then became a long distance relationship,
for a year and a half.
Which is its own facet of our life together, because really, I'm in LA, she's in New York, and there's this
And I'm in school, so I can't take off. He's freelance, so he made the effort to always, like, we think we saw each other almost, like, every 2 to 3 months, which is...
We tried to do it about
great.
once every month and a half, but sometimes it got stretched to 2.
It's kind of hard.
Tickets
are
spending
expensive,
money,
so.
and, you know, obviously that's time away from my work,
Yeah.
so... But, I mean, we made it work, and that's kind of what you have to do. And I mean, there were definitely times when I was like, well, is this going to work? Is this not? But, I mean, we made it work.
Yeah, that was actually easier. It was transitioning into the same city, and that was the hard part.
Yeah.
We're just very different.
Yeah.
Very different. She's very organized and detailed and get things done and focused. And I'm an old punker, and
Trouble.
Too many stories, and too many tattoos, and too much. Yeah, just you know. And so yeah, we're very different.
I mean,
I think we take the best qualities of each other.
Yeah.
She drives me, she
Yeah.
pushes me harder, and I make her slow down.
That's true, yeah.
I've always sort of talked about how cavalier I am about marriage, but mostly because I saw what my parents had and my sister had, and never thought it was really realistic in most cases until I met her, and just decided that I finally met the one that I wanted. I had to sneak it though. We were actually in New York City, and she found a ring that she liked, and I asked her, "Do you like it? Does it fit?" and everything like that. And then when she walked away, I came back around and gave the guy my card, asked him for his best price, and grabbed it. And then we had to get back to the apartment, and I had to hide it in my pocket. And meanwhile, she's sitting there trying to hug me, and like, you know, so I'm kneeling down, telling her, "Oh, I don't feel good, my stomach hurts," trying to avoid her. Her hands like sort of like reaching around everything, and finally finding it in my pocket. But
I did not find it.
no, you didn't.
I normally am not a vulgar person. I try not to swear.
Or...
But we're sitting here, and I literally turned to her, and in my head I had a thought, and it was just an instant thought. It was just do it, idiot. Just do it. Just say it. And so I said, sort of without even thinking about it, "Let's just fucking get married." And she was kind of crying at this point because of our conversation had led up to this point, and she sort of paused and was jarred, and I was like, let's get married, let's do it.
Well, it was a long process. I knew pretty much right when we started dating this was going to be the one for me, and I started going through the process of getting the engagement ring. I volunteered in Ghana, West Africa for a while as a boxing coach, and so I knew a small jeweler there, and I had some connections with the people there. I knew I could make a pretty affordable ring for the taste. You know, she has like the Cartier type taste, which I knew I couldn't afford, but I could get something made, you know, in that image, in that mold. And after 6 or 7 months of really planning and sneaking around trying to get everything done, I was able to propose to her on Christmas Eve, just past Christmas Eve.
We've both been married before. I was married when I was in the Navy. I was 23, I think, so it was just, you know, young, dumb, I'm in love, you know, and that didn't last. He was married once before. You were young, 20-something, 22, 23. So I guess for me it's not like the whole, I need the white wedding gown and the, you know, the whole formal wedding in a church and all that great stuff. But no, we talked about it and said, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see myself living the rest of my life with him. I can see myself married and him growing old together. So we looked at rings, and you know, we ordered it online, and it came in the mail. It was still a surprise, but because I didn't know when he was going to give it to me, but I knew it was there in the house, and so it was just in the kitchen.
Definitely unplanned. I did not have a ring. I didn't expect to be proposing that evening, but being true children of our modern instantaneous communications age, I put it out on Twitter that I had asked her to marry me, and that of course set off a flurry of activity in the Twitter world and on Facebook. And so what I found interesting, and I was kind of reflecting on it later on, was as soon as I asked her and as soon as she said yes, all of the previous doubts and wondering and questioning, it was all gone, and it was like I had changed inside. And I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but literally I felt different. I felt like, okay, I've made this decision. The hard part's over. Now I just got to actually make it work, and that's just a matter of waking up every day and saying, okay, this is me making it work.
Went out to eat. Didn't ask me on the streets of New York or anything like that. We get back to the apartment, this little dingy apartment in Lower East Side, and take a shower. Get out of the shower and like slouching on the couch with the towel around me, not romantic at all. And he comes over and says, "Do you want to get married?" And he pops open the box. I'm like, "Are you seriously asking me? Like right here, right now? Like not pretty at all." I'm like, "Of course." Give him a hug, kiss, and it happened to be July 4th, also not under fireworks. It was just how the love of my life would ask me on the couch nonchalantly, "Do you want to get married?"
As far as gay marriage goes, I think it's important that like everyone should be able to get married if they want to, because marriage isn't something the church invented. It's something like everyone's been doing from the beginning of time. And I think, you know, everyone's a human being, and, you know, we always like agree, like there's certain things like all human beings deserve, like food, water, air, you know, getting to love each other. And for me, I think marriage isn't something like the law should get to decide.
We were very much opposed to Prop 8. We actually have a gay couple, friends of ours who recently
amazing people. Been together for what, 15 years.
Yeah.
They're a lesbian couple. I mean, we have more friends than this, but this particular couple we're very
also
close
very
with. There's it's just so, it's upsetting because it's very like close to us, but it's also, why would anyone take any free will from any two people?
Well,
it's not our choice to make it. Religion should not be involved in government at all.
I think people have lots of reasons. People get married to have kids, and so I think people are always going to get married because there's so many millions of different reasons why people get married. Some to, you know, tax purposes, some for, you know, a green card, some people to have kids, some people to move up in class, some people to, because they're in love.
Weddings are kind of boring. They're just kind of like, everything's the same.
Everybody's waiting for the vows to be over.
It's just the boring blah 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 I do, and then you go to the reception, everything's the same. And there's the bridesmaid with matching dresses, then you go to the reception and the tables are all done, you have the place settings and the centerpiece.
Chicken or fish.
The band and the DJ, or, you know, it's all the same. There's a dance floor in the middle, and it's kind of like, you know. I always thought, let's just go to the beach, put down white beach towels, put a little basket with some flip-flops, have a DJ up on the hill, you know, and something different.
And what would a wedding that was basically designed by a bunch of people who are all creative and all inspired, what would that look like if they focused their energies and attention and creativity on us? And obviously, you know, having that is...
How do people interpret us? That's
so
fascinating.
And also I think, well, gosh, that's going to be a story to tell down the line, you know, like people say, well, how was your wedding? You know, what was that like? Or, you know, I don't know if anybody asked that, but if they do, we'll have a great story.
I think we would just have a sort of an overall vision, you know, and the details. I mean, we're actually looking for that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
I've told everyone that's, you know, I want to help with the wedding. I'm like, you know, I want to find the venue and the photographer, whatnot. Everything else I need help with. Details, I want other people's opinions and just that's what I need help with. So absolutely, it's like, go for it.